Okay, welcome back. Today we're just going to touch on one of the most important subjects when it comes to health and fitness and well-being. And from my experience as a personal trainer, it's probably the toughest one, and that will be the nutrition side. When people come to see me, they'll ask about the fitness, whether it be cardiovascular fitness, muscular endurance, strength training, mobility, flexibility. The one part that we cover, and it's an ongoing journey as well, is the nutrition side. Now, nutrition, there's lots of do's and don'ts. There's lots of non-negotiables, okay? And one of those is, if you're looking to lose body weight and lose body fat, at some point you're going to have to adjust your nutrition in terms of the amount of calories that you eat, then the quality of calories, and then finally when you eat them, okay? Now, calories come in many guises, and they're the nutrients, the macronutrients, the macro being the largest nutrients, and that's your protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Micronutrients are what you get from like fruit and vegetables, okay? That's your vitamins, okay? And whilst they're mutually exclusive, they have to work together as well in order to break each other down for the body to work correctly, for our immune system to work, our cardiovascular system to work, from our musculoskeletal system to operate properly. In other words, the function, the homeostasis of our body is controlled, but mainly controlled by what we put in our body. Our gut health, okay, is responsible for a minimum of 70% of our immune system. Therefore, what we should eat for at least 70% of the time should be good, healthy food. Now, when clients come to see us, if they're coming for a weight loss, 10 to 12 week or even a half year weight loss program, usually they're either eating too many calories and/or they're eating the wrong calories and at the wrong time. So the first thing we do is we look at how many calories they're eating. Let's say the average body is consuming 1,500 to 2,500 calories a day. So if they've got to lose weight, and we're talking 14 to 28 pounds, maybe even more. I've trained clients that have come to see me at 30 stone. I've trained clients that come to see me at 10, 15 stone. But if you're looking to lose weight initially, the first thing we've got to do is cut your daily calorific intake down. The next thing we have to do is actually burn more calories. Okay, that's your energy expenditure. But on the nutrition side, your training starts in the kitchen. What you buy and put in your cupboards, fridge and freezers is historically what you're going to eat. Okay, we can't eat something. We can't go to the cupboard and buy and eat a certain type of food if it's not there. We have to take our hard-earned money, go to the store, buy the food, take it back home, put it in the cupboard, unwrap it, prepare it, cook it and eat it. All those stages that go towards eating unhealthy, it starts at the idea of going to the store, or in today's climate, having them come to us. So the first thing we do is we look at people's bodies and we say, okay, Mrs. Smith, okay, Mr. Jones, you're carrying X amount of excess body fat. Now, so what we're going to do is adjust the kitchen first. I try to get a client into eating good quality sources of protein by the end of week 1 of their training. Don't leave it too late. Majority of clients, when they come to see us, they're protein deficient, okay, which is the norm. In other words, they're not getting in that vital macronutrient of protein. Classic examples: chicken, fish, steak, eggs, poultry, nuts, seeds, milk. And if they've had breakfast in the morning, if they do, okay, some don't, they might have had some cereal, there's no protein in it. They might have had some fruit, there's no protein in that. So they're starting their day protein deficient. And then what happens is they either skip lunch at work, or if they do have lunch, quite often it's snacks, it's crisps, it's biscuits, it's cakes, it might be a bit of fruit or some soup. There's no protein there. More often than not, if they have 3 meals a day, then the third meal in the evening between 5:30 and 8:30 is the meal that's got a protein source in it. Okay, and that can be your standard meat and 2 veg. So clearly that client is protein deficient, and to actually start getting enough protein into the body, it takes some time to do that, to adjust the palate and adjust the habits into starting there. So the first thing we do, we concentrate on that, and that's separately from the hydration. We're just talking food at the moment. Then we look at another macronutrient, the carbohydrates. And what is carbohydrate? Like a form of sugar. And now the opposite when it comes to carbohydrates, our clients normally are loaded with too many carbohydrates. Bread, pasta, rice, cakes, biscuits, fizzy drinks, sugary drinks, all those things are sources of energy. Okay, some are good sources and some are poor sources. And more often than not, they're not burning that energy. They're putting all that energy into the body with carbohydrates, quick release and slow release carbohydrates, but they're not actually utilizing it. They sit down to drive to work, sit down at work, sit down to have dinner, sit down to watch TV, and then lay down to go to bed, and then repeat the next day. So what we ask them to do is to reduce their carbohydrates straight away. And it depends on the client, how much they weigh, how much they're eating. So if we reduce their carbohydrates by at least 25 to 30% each day for the first 2 to 4 weeks, that can make a noticeable difference in the weight loss. More protein, less carbohydrates. And then the carbohydrates that are left in their weekly diet nutrition plan are predominantly vegetable and fruit based. Okay, that's not something we should do infinitely. You should still get the odd, sweet potato, the odd wholemeal rice, wholemeal bread, wholemeal rice once in a blue moon. But that initial kickstart is to switch from carbohydrates to the big, stodgy, slow, quick release ones, and the high processed versions. Go straight towards vegetables and fruit, at least for the first 4 weeks. Okay. Next thing we go to is the fats, and quite often clients get fat in their diet from processed food. Okay, and that would be candies, sweets, cakes, biscuits, white and beige food, or from takeaways. That will be from your high street stores or those that are delivering you. They're high fat foods that are designed to get you hooked on the high fatty foods. That's the whole purpose of them. High fat foods aren't designed or made or marketed to get you to lose weight or reduce body fat. They're designed to increase weight and increase body fat. And the way that the marketing companies and the food manufacturers make them, they're designed to actually get you hooked with the taste, the smell, and where they put them in the shops. So we get our clients off high fat diet straight away. We need fats in our body for our nervous system to work and our immune system to work, but that is healthy fats. So we have to split them. Good fats and bad fats, of which we'll come to another day. But straight away we have to address how much fat they're putting in the diet, where they're getting it from. Your three main nutrients, then your protein, carbohydrate and fat, of which we need all three of those, but we have to monitor them. And then finally is the micronutrient, which are like your vitamins. Micronutrients, they'll come in all foods, but they'll come in predominantly in fruit and vegetables. Now, without the micronutrients, the macronutrients, protein, carbohydrate and fat, they won't digest properly in the body. They won't actually synthesize into the body the way they should do. They'll eventually break down, but it will take longer. You need the micronutrients to break down the macronutrients for our body to utilize it. Okay, they're separate, but they work together at the same time. A micronutrient is important for our immune system to work. Without that, and that's why so many people constantly get ill with colds and flu and sickness. Okay, if we take into account that they're sleeping okay, they're getting their 6 to 8 hours a night, but they're constantly being unwell. Okay, unless they're around unwell people, more often than not, it's their gut health, and it's because they don't get enough high quality micronutrients. They might eat a bit of fruit every other few days or none at all. I've trained grown men and women the age of 40 and above that don't eat vegetables, so they've had to actually change their